Leeds United, one of the most storied clubs in the history of English football. Ask your dad who the top teams were in the 90s and he'll probably count Leeds among them. Ask your granddad the same question about the 60s and 70s and the answer will likely be the same. But Leeds United have fallen on some tough times in recent years. After plummeting to the depths of League One and coming within arm's reach of disappearing off the face of the football map forever, Leeds finally managed to haul themselves back up to the top tier of English football under Marcelo Bielsa in 2020, but have never really managed to solidify themselves as a true Premier League club. Currently just a win away from the relegation zone in 17th, Leeds have looked far from safe under professional yo-yo meister Daniel Farke this season, and the board have decided enough is enough. It's time for a change. Cue the entrance of Steve Cooper. The Welshman managed to do with Nottingham Forest precisely what a number of managers have failed to do with Leeds. Grab a spot in the top half and stay there. With Christmas just around the corner and the January transfer window looming on the horizon, Cooper will have his work cut out for him if he's going to replicate his past successes further north and make Leeds a force to be reckoned with in the Premier League once again. This is episode 1 of our realistic Leeds United career mode here on FC26. Let's get into it. We're back! We are so back. Those of you that have been following the channel for some time and are still here, thank you for your patience. Those of you that are new to the channel, we do EAFC career modes around here and we try and keep them as realistic as possible. One of the most important considerations when trying to keep your career modes realistic is, of course, the sliders. I do have a realistic slider set for FC26. Not going to be revealing that just yet, though. I will put a separate video out for that. Today, we are instead focused entirely on episode 1 of our Leeds United career mode. We have just 2 games to get to today. A home match against Crystal Palace. As I'm recording this, Leeds just smashed Crystal Palace 4-1. So we're going to do well to replicate that result here in game. And then we have an away trip to Sunderland to get to today as well. Just the 2 games, because then of course just around the corner is the January transfer window. One other way we'll be looking to keep this particular series realistic is by using an AI chat tool. We'll be giving the tool various roles to play: chairman of the board, sporting director, youth academy manager, etc. And we'll be using the decisions and the opinions of those people to inform what we do in the game. In his welcome email, for example, Chairman Paraag Marathe has explained that he wants 18 to 20 points from the next 10 to 12 games to really move towards securing our safety in the Premier League. That, I would say, is probably a little ambitious, but it's not like our squad is terrible. We have Lucas Perry, who's a very, very good goalkeeper, who's going to be a significant upgrade over Elan Meslier. I like Gabriel Goodmanson a lot. The rest of the back four, maybe nothing to write home about. We do have Joe Rodon, Pascal Strauch, James Justin and Jayden Bogle are solid enough fullbacks. I do think we have a fairly strong midfield with the likes of Ethan Ampadu, Al Tanaka and Anton Stack. We bought Stack, I think, in Season 3 of our Everton career mode on FC25. So I'm certainly going to be pleased to have him in a squad again. We do have Gruyev as well. Ramazani out on loan currently. We do have some fairly strong wingers as well. Maybe more potential than current ability, but Nonto, the sky is the limit. Brendan Aronson is solid enough. We do have Noah Okafor on the opposite side. Currently down as a striker. I'm currently undecided whether we're going to be playing him through the middle or opposite somebody like Nonto on the other wing. And then up front is probably where we're lacking the most, I would say. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a new acquisition, scored 2 against Crystal Palace, but Lucas Mecha constantly injured. It's injuries that have kind of derailed Dominic Calvert-Lewin's career. Perot is fine. We have Geldhart out on loan. but goals I think are going to be hard to come by if this is our front line. And since we're not overly familiar with the squad at this early stage, our squad planner Jordan Miles has given us a breakdown of who's performing well lately. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Al Tanaka, Joe Rodon and Pascal Struijk make the list. He's given us some areas of concern as well. Sean Longstaff, Daniel James, both out until the new year. And he's advising that Lucas Mecha doesn't approach the first team at this stage as well. Finally, also given us a recommended starting 11 for Crystal Palace. So we have replicated that here in game. Lucas Perry starts in goal. It's a back four of Jaden Bogle, Joe Rodon, Pascal Struijk, Gabriel Goodmanson, Ethan Ampadu and Al Tanaka start in midfield, but it's actually Gruyev who gets the nod ahead of Anton Stack. Probably the only big surprise in that suggestion from our assistant. Noah Okafor and Wilf Nonto will play down the wings, and then we have Dominic Calvert-Lewin leading the line up front. So the Steve Cooper era is upon us here at Elland Road. Very similar club in terms of stature, in terms of history to Nottingham Forest. So pretty confident that Cooper can do a good job here at Leeds United. A club that's previously had a lot of success but has fallen out of favour in recent years. Spent a lot of time in the lower leagues, managed to make it back up to the Premier League. Forest have just managed to solidify themselves and stabilise themselves as a Premier League club. Leeds haven't yet managed to do that. That is Steve Cooper's one and only job. Survive this season, solidify Leeds as not just a Premier League club, but preferably a top half club. Mateta early, Wharton so nicely worked from Palace, and already it's 1-0. Ismail Assar slotting it home. Awful start to the game for Leeds United. It's a fantastic finish from Ismail Assar. It was a brilliant pass through from Adam Wharton. Perfectly weighted for Sarr. Brilliant angle. Love this. It's unfortunate that we can't see the pass from Adam Wharton, because it was, as we said, perfectly weighted into the path of Ismail Assar. And we have got to come from behind here at Elland Road. Not a good start for Steve Cooper in front of the home fans. Barely had a chance to get on the ball yet in today's game. We are going with a 4-2-3-1 formation. A slightly deeper one though. Technically it's a 4-3-3 defend. Two defensive midfielders and one just centre midfielder rather than a cam, rather than a true number 10. So we've got Al Tanaka a little deeper. Don't really have anybody truly suited to that true number 10 role. Noah Okafor finds Ethan Ampadu, who strikes from range straight at Benitez. Really comfortable save. I think a number 10 is somebody that we would be looking to add. Probably not in January necessarily, but certainly in the summer, and certainly or especially if we do manage to stay up this season. I'd like a shadow striker in that number 10 role. Somebody who can work off the front man, make runs in behind. Jeremy Pina tries to find a way through, tries to find Jean-Philippe Mateta. It's dealt with well. And Goodmanson can now try and find the run of Okafor down the left-hand side. Okafor not entirely sure what to do with him at the moment. He is currently a striker. I think he could easily retrain and become a left winger. I think Okafor even could potentially drop back a little deeper and play that shadow striker role. Not a traditional number 10, but I think if we're looking for a shadow striker particularly, then Okafor could certainly play that role. Nicely worked from Crystal Palace around the edge of the Leeds United box, and it's in towards Mateta. It's good defending from Joe Rodon, and Gruyev just has to hook clear. Can Calvert-Lewin win it in the air? Of course he can. Was there ever a question? And Gnonto is away. Calvert-Lewin just drags the defender Maxence Lacroix away. Gnonto couldn't really find an opportunity to shoot though, but finds Goodmanson, lofted in towards Calvert-Lewin. Can't win it this time. Instead it's Mark Gay who heads clear. Tanaka, Gruyev, and Gnonto out on the right. Will square up Tyrick Mitchell and put it into the box towards Noah Okafor at the back post, but claimed fairly comfortably by Benitez. We've settled into the game a little bit now though. Disappointing that we've had to go a goal down before we do that. But we have dominated the last 10 minutes or so. Those of you that are familiar with the channel, those of you that have seen my career modes before, it is pretty much business as usual. We are on legendary difficulty as Gruyev steals it away. Okafor makes the run in behind. Maxence Lacroix, no slouch, comes across to meet him. Ampadu, Noah Okafor uses the run of Goodmanson and into the path of Tanaka. Really nicely worked with Calvert-Lewin. A nice little 1-2 from Tanaka. Bouncing the ball off Calvert-Lewin. Looking to collect it once again and get the shot away. I think Tanaka could be a good choice in that central midfield role. I probably, personally, if I was going with my chosen starting 11, rather than deferring to the squad planner, I probably would have played Tanaka slightly deeper, where Gruyev is, and played Stack in that central midfield role. But this is why we deferred to the more experienced man's opinion, because Tanaka is shining in that role currently. Good run from Wilf Gnonto. Has Ampadu overcooked the pass? Gnonto does manage to get there. Finds Ampadu once again, who lays it off for Gruyev, who strikes, and it's a fantastic save from Benitez. Sprawling out to his right-hand side, and not only managing to make the save, but managing to keep hold of the ball too. We do look like scoring though, it has to be said. Mateta. Back to Lacroix. Gruyev can't quite get there. I think it was actually Noah Okafor trying to steal the ball away. Gruyev slightly deeper. Mateta fairly deep as well. You don't often see him dropping deep to collect the ball, but it's exactly what he's done there. Nicely worked by Palace again. And Nathaniel Klein. Decent enough defending by Gabriel Goodmanson. Sends him back initially, but does allow the pass in to Mateta's feet. Headed clear. Knocked down by Okafor, but only to the feet of Ismail Assar. And Crystal Palace managing to enjoy a spell of possession here. Camped inside our final third. With the likes of Noah Okafor and Wilf Gnonto on the wings, we could conceivably hit Crystal Palace on a quick counter-attack if we can win the ball back. But it's not currently looking like we're going to be able to do that. Bogle heads clear this time. Recycled again by Palace. And the shot from Mateta, thankfully wide. I thought that was 2-0. And I think Perry probably wouldn't have got there if that shot had been on target. Fortunately, it wasn't. But as I was saying, it is pretty much business as usual. If you are familiar with my previous career mode series, we are in legendary difficulty. We are going to be playing 10-minute halves. And we are going to be playing one feature game per episode. We only have 2 games left in the month of December. But for regular kind of full-length episodes, and that will go out for a corner. For regular full-length episodes with a full month's worth of fixtures to play, we'll be playing one featured game. We'll be playing, or I'll be showing you highlights of a couple more. And then we'll be quick simming a couple of games, as well as Okafor prepares to deliver the corner. We'll try and put it on the penalty spot. It's not bad, and I think that's Pascal Struijk, who turns the ball towards goal with his head. But it's another save from Benitez. Half an hour into the game, that's 3 or 4 saves we've forced the Crystal Palace goalkeeper into already. Just really unfortunate that we had such a complacent start to the game and just gifted Crystal Palace a 1-goal head start. Because we've been the better side since then, I would say. And I don't think it's been that close, really. Tyrick Mitchell. Ethan Ampadu defending. Wilf Gnonto is not going to win that. Tanaka just can't find space to clear the ball from danger. Is this Pina? I think it is. I think he's offside, though. Good run from Pina. I think it's Jefferson Lerma trying to thread the needle, and he was only just offside. Jeremy Pina. We got away with one there. Gruyev finds Goodmanson. Into the feet of Okafor. 2 Crystal Palace defenders ahead of him. And Tanaka will find Bogle. Up to Wilf Gnonto. Little give and go with Ampadu, but the run was tracked well. Tanaka. Is that a free kick? That was a perfectly timed challenge from Adam Wharton, but we will take it. Okafor, I think, just going to chip the ball in behind here. And Calvert-Lewin is there. Can't quite rise to get his head to the ball, and it's headed clear by Crystal Palace, and Goodmanson just completely out-muscled by Jean-Philippe Mateta there. And it's a really nice ball in behind for Ismail Assar to chase. Goodmanson again lost at sea defensively. Thankfully, Joe Rodon heads clear. It's not been a good defensive performance by Gabriel Goodmanson so far. And to be fair, we are going to be relying on him more going forward. We do have him as an attacking wing-back right now. Jean-Philippe Mateta again puts the shot wide. This one a little more confident, Lucas Perry, that it was going wide. But Goodmanson, we certainly want to get forward. That's why we have Gruyev in that holding role on the left side to cover for Goodmanson. But we do need him to be at least solid defensively. And that's a good run from Goodmanson. Exactly the kind of run we need him to make. Okafor finds him. Goodmanson trying to find space to get in across on his left foot. Ampadu. Crystal Palace just back in a good defensive shape. Proving difficult to break down. Goodmanson once again does manage to hold on to it. He's just going to have to dig out across here. Does really well to find some space. And Calvert-Lewin hits the side net. Really good play from Goodmanson to twist and turn and find space to pull the ball back to the feet of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And that was almost an equaliser just before the stroke of half-time. And Goodmanson wins the header this time. We may be able to forge one final opportunity here in the first half. Noah Okafor beats one. May just have to try and put it out for a corner and deliver one final set piece before the half-time whistle goes. Gruyev, Ampadu, Gnonto. Can he get the shot away? Yes, he can, and it's wide. Probably the best chance of the first half comes just before the half-time whistle. Left-footed strike from Wilf Gnonto. It is his weaker foot. Probably should have at least got that on target. And it is going to be Crystal Palace, thanks to that goal in the 4th minute by Ismail Assar, who go in to the half-time break 1-0 up. So back out for the second half at Elland Road. No changes for either side. I don't think we need to change our approach to the game either, because I think we were probably the better side in that first half. I think we created the clearer opportunities. And again, we just gifted Crystal Palace a 1-goal head start. Complacent start to the game. Was not switched on after the opening whistle. And it could be the same here in the second half, and it is. We've done exactly the same thing here in the second half. Jean-Philippe Mateta doubles the lead. And it's 3 minutes into the second half. Ismaila Sarr opened the scoring 4 minutes into the first. Jean-Philippe Mateta doubles the lead 3 minutes into the second. Nothing Paraag can do about it. He's been let down by his defenders there. Joe Rodon just not tight enough to Mateta. You cannot allow Jean-Philippe Mateta to turn and have that much time and space in the penalty area and not expect to be punished. Really disappointing. So we do have our work cut out for us now, if we are going to come back and get anything from this game. A draw, much less a win. Gruyev can't quite find Tanaka. Tanaka wins it back, puts it into the feet of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Spotted the run of Wilf Gnonto, but it was tracked really well by Tyrick Mitchell. Gnonto once again just whips the ball into the box. Headed clear by Mark Gay. Ampadu knocks it down. Gruyev will strike from range. Just hits Mark Gahey. I think it might be time for a change before too long. I think we are going to bring Anton Stack on. Gruyev has been disappointing. Tanaka, as we said, has looked decent in that central midfield role, but I think we probably will drop him back to play alongside Ethan Ampadu. And we will play Anton Stack in that central midfield role to hopefully get a bit more dynamism in the midfield. A little more creativity, I guess. And with fewer than 10 minutes on the clock, Crystal Palace are going to make a change as well. Nathaniel Klein to come off. But Steve Cooper with his own changes in mind. So Anton Stack is on, as is Brendan Aronson. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has made way. That's a poor challenge from Jefferson Lerma. That's got to be a booking. And if Anton Stack is injured seconds after coming onto the pitch, I'm going to be furious. It's a yellow card for Jefferson Lerma. Well deserved. And I think Anton Stack is going to be okay here. But Gruyev making way for Stack. It's a terrible challenge. Gruyev making way for Stack. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin making way for Brendan Aronson. Noah Okafor playing through the middle now. Gnonto out on the left-hand side. Aronson out on the right. And we need these substitutes to make an immediate impact, which is exactly what Aronson has done. Beating Tyrick Mitchell, lifting the ball towards the box and winning the header as it bounces back off Tyrick Mitchell. Excellent start for Brendan Aronson. Immediate impact is exactly what we need from Anton Stack as much as anybody. And Crystal Palace can just sit on this lead. They are playing 5 at the back today, so it's going to be easy enough for them to get players behind the ball. And for that reason, I think it's going to be up to us to take a risk or two here. So we are going to switch up the tactics slightly. Another excellent interjection from Brendan Aronson. And he has the jump on Chris Richards. Cuts inside. It's a great challenge from Richards, though. I like what I've seen from Brendan Aronson so far. Mateta tracked by Anton Stack. The same again, but Jeremy Pina in behind. It's a good recovery challenge from Jaden Bogle. Finds Stack, who in turn finds Gnonto. And it looks like that change in tactics has meant that players are out of position now. We wanted Wilf Gnonto out on the left-hand side for the remainder of this game. Ampadu strikes straight at Benitez again. Too often it's been straight at Benitez. It's a good challenge from Stack. Referee blows the whistle. He actually allows play to continue. And it's intercepted by Jaden Bogle. Brendan Aronson. Nonto outside him. Can he pull it back? Across goal to Noah Okafor. He puts it wide. The goal was gaping. Surely we should have a goal back. Okafor with a terrible, terrible finish. And that cannot go unpunished. We have brought Joel Perreault on for Noah Okafor. I'm not sure why we're not getting the substitution animations, cutscenes, when we're making changes, but Crystal Palace are. But regardless, Noah Okafor off and Joel Perreault on. We're very much chasing the game at this point. Just about 25 minutes left to play. Still 2-0 down. I still feel like we've been the better side. I feel like we've gifted Crystal Palace 2 goals. And they haven't really done much else. We've created a number of clear opportunities. And we've either squandered them or Benitez has made good saves. It's really well done from Tanaka. And Nonto is on his way. Perreault through the middle. Nonto finds him. Can Perreault finish? Yes, he can. We have a goal back. Grab that ball, Perreault. Put it back on the centre spot. And let's chase that equaliser. Really good challenge from Tanaka. Finds Nonto. Who in turn finds Joel Perreault. And he's not going to make the same mistake that players like Noah Okafor, Wilf Nonto have made before him. He's going to absolutely bury it. We are back in this game. We should not have been 2 goals down at any point. But with 20 minutes to go, suddenly looking a little more realistic that we could get something out of it. I would have to settle for a point. Having been 2 goals down, I don't think the performance necessarily warrants a point. It's tough because I think we've been by far the better side. I think keeper's ball. I think we've played well enough to deserve a win outside of those 2 moments, but you can't just completely rub those 2 moments from history. Stack, Tanaka, Goodmanson just finds Ampadu, and Anton Stack will get a shot away. It's another good save from Benitez. Not sure that was even on target, the shot from Stack. But Benitez had to be sure. Sends the ball out for a corner, which Goodmanson will deliver. It's into a good area too. And the ball falls for Strauch. Benitez makes the save. Strauch takes a tumble. And I think the ball just got caught in the feet of Pascal Strauch slightly. And Jean-Philippe Mateta and Crystal Palace are away. Jaden Bogle one-on-one with the big man, who just slots the ball inside. Oh, and it's cut out well by Jaden Bogle. Has to be careful not to lose the ball again, though. Goodmanson back to Perry, who lays it out in front of Strauch, who has to slide in to prevent Yeremy Pina from just stealing the ball away and making it 3. And it is going to be a yellow card for Strauch. Poor pass from Lucas Perry there. Left his centre-back in a sticky situation, and it studs up. It's not a good challenge from Strauch, but it was Perry taking a leaf out of Ilan Mellier's book there and making things difficult for his defenders. It's a decent enough free kick from Ismail Assar. Does go high and wide though. The wall well positioned. The goalkeeper well positioned. And I think we might just have to go all out here to grab the equaliser. About 10 minutes to go. There's no point not throwing everything at Crystal Palace here. It's a good run from Brendan Aronson. It's a good ball from Joel Perreault to find him. Crystal Palace once again with players behind the ball though. Brendan Aronson still going. And it falls to Perreault. He tries to lay it off for Stack. Ismail Assar gets back behind the ball and manages to steal it away. Oh, it's a nice ball from Hughes into Mateta. Doesn't look like Crystal Palace are settling for a 2-1 win. They're going to try and make it 3 and secure the victory here. Controversial approach, as it has left them somewhat short at the back. There's just no way through, though. There's just no way through. Goodmanson breaking forward. Can't really find the run of any teammates in behind, though. Couldn't get a shot away himself. It was on his right foot rather than his left. Nonto wins that. Drops for Aronson, who beats one and hits it straight at Benitez. Fantastic feat from Aronson to get a bit of space in the box, just to get half a yard to get the shot away. And that shot again is straight at Benitez. Unreal strength from Mateta to win that header. How many times is that today? We've created a clear opportunity to score and we've just hit it straight at the Crystal Palace keeper. We've really let them off on a number of occasions. That's such a poor pass from Stack, and I can see why we were advised against playing him today. Really loose pass. So poor. And an important moment as well. And it does look like Crystal Palace are going to be able to see this game out and secure all 3 points. Nonto. Aronson. Bogle up in support. Just finds Stack. Run from Ampadu. Again, look at the bodies behind the ball, though, for Crystal Palace. Stack knocks it down. Benitez hooks clear. Jaden Bogle just takes on his man. Altanaka. And there's Nonto. So many players, not just behind the ball, but in the Crystal Palace penalty area. It's a great strike. And turn towards goal. But Stack can't quite get his foot round it. It's just a pot shot from Tanaka from outside the area. Pinballed around a couple of players. Maybe did Benitez even get something on that there as well? Nodded down by Bogle, though. But Anton Stack just couldn't quite turn the ball towards goal. Joel Peru. Bogle. Reluctant to make a run in behind. Pulled back across goal, though, from Bogle. Hooked clear by Crystal Palace. And again we press for the equaliser. Tanaka finds Bogle. Nonto. Bogle can't find him. I think that's probably going to be our last opportunity. Unless we can fashion one right now. Stack. Aronson. Finds Tanaka. Gets a bit of space. It's blocked by Hughes, and there's just too many bodies. Too many bodies in the way for Crystal Palace. And the full-time whistle goes. I mean, there's 9-10 players inside the Crystal Palace penalty area there in the last 10-15 minutes or so. And it is going to be a 2-1 loss at home versus Crystal Palace to start the Steve Cooper era at Elland Road. Undeserved, I would say, for Crystal Palace, but I mean, if you give the opposition a 2-goal head start, which is essentially what we did, then can you really say you deserve to get anything from the game? I think we completely outplayed Crystal Palace on the balance of play for 80 minutes. I mean, they had far more possession than us. Well, I say far more. I mean, 57% to 43 is significant. But we just did far more with possession when we had it. So naturally, a couple of changes to the squad for the second game of the episode against Sunderland. Anton Stack does come in to the 11. Joel Perreault, after scoring the lone goal against Crystal Palace, starts up front. And Brendan Aronson, after making a big impact, coming off the bench, also starts out on the right. Nonto shifts over to the left-hand side. We got off to a better start against Sunderland than we did against Crystal Palace, but that didn't stop us from conceding early. Sunderland grabbed the early goal, but Wilf Nonto cut in off the left-hand side to equalise just 5 minutes later. A wonderful goal. But a frantic first half would see Sunderland go into the break ahead. Lucas Perry unable to stop the second attempt, but we didn't give up. We kept pressing, and we would have an equaliser 70 minutes into the game. Brendan Aronson with the goal this time. Aronson was impressive off the bench against Crystal Palace, deserved his start here, and scored what looked to be a winner as he fired the ball into the roof of the net just 5 minutes from time. But deep into injury time as whistles sounded from the away end, but not from the referee's lips, Brian Brobby fired Sunderland level to make it 3-3, which means we're going to end the episode in the same place we started it, teetering on the brink of the relegation zone, just a win above West Ham in 17th. That draw against Sunderland means we have accrued just one of the 18 to 20 points that the board want us to accrue over the second half of the season. Plenty of opportunities to accrue more in the next episode, but it's going to be tough going. We've got Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle, Arsenal amongst the fixtures. We will, of course, have the January transfer window to get to as well. I don't think we're going to be looking to add to the first team necessarily this January. Our status as a Premier League club still very much uncertain, and we can't invest too heavily financially if we are to just go down at the end of the season. But get those suggestions in the comments below for players that you think we should be looking at in January. Likely young players, likely players that will maybe not play a role for us in the first season or two if we do stay up, but could make a big impact on the squad in the future. And if we do go down, then they probably will play a role in the first team. But that'll do it for episode 1 of our realistic Leeds United career mode here on FC 26. It is good to be back, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.